In this video, I want to talk about your bobbin and your backlash spring. It's important that you have correct tension on your bobbin and that your backlash spring is working properly. I used to not use a backlash spring, and I used parchment paper or a disc instead because, I'll show you why, I didn't like the way the lint really gathers in the backlash spring. So I would warn people, this is something you really have to watch for. If you have lint in there, you're not going to be getting good tension. But this is an important part of the bobbin. So you need to keep this cleaned out, and you can brush that out and you can blow it out with a compressor, and either way it will help it stay clean. So this little part right here is what's called the backlash spring. I'm going to pull that out, and you can see all the lint that's on there. We're going to clean that off. Okay, now these are not quite as delicate as they may appear, and they need to have the bend in them that they have. You can see that they don't lay flat, they stick out a little bit. There is a correct way to put these in your bobbin. You'll notice that they have two prongs on each side, but this side they're close together and this side they're further apart. And they will fit into the slots that are right here on your bobbin. These two are further apart, and on this side they are closer together. So that's how you know the way it goes in. Nothing will stick out through this little cutout there in the bobbin. So it takes a little bit of finagling to get that pressed in so that it's in the grooves as it should be here. But that right there is how it goes in. And then when you put your bobbin in, I'm going to use this bobbin over here, it's a full bobbin. The thread should be going clockwise around the bobbin. When you put it in, it goes through this slot and then up and around into that little groove there, and it will pull. Now there's a double check to make sure that you've put your bobbin in right. Your thread was wound clockwise, and when you pull on it, the bobbin will spin like a clock. So if it's not spinning clockwise, then you know you don't have it in there right. Now that backlash spring is going to be pushing your bobbin out a bit of the case, and you can see it sticks out about the width of the edge of the bobbin. So the red metal there is a small sliver, and then the gap is a sliver that's about the same size there. And that's how you want your bobbin backlash spring to be. I like to use a toe tension gauge, and I have another video showing how to use it. But you can put your bobbin then, and you hear it click. It's the bobbin in the casing, and you wrap it around the bottom, up over the top, and then around here, and give it a pull. You can see that this has very little tension. When I pull on it, the needle doesn't come down much. I want it to be somewhere between 150 and 200, and when I pull this, it's not nearly enough tension on that bobbin, so I'm going to tighten this down. There are two screws here on the side. It is the bigger one that gets tightened. That will increase the tension in the bobbin. And now when I pull on it, there's still nothing. Very, very little bobbin tension. And you can see, for those of you that use a drop test, I'm going to show you, it doesn't pull up out of my hand in any way. So let's put that back in. I know a lot of people like the drop test, so I'm going to show you how they both work. That is incredibly loose. This bobbin has not been in use, I don't think, because you could never sew with it that loose without pulling up a lot of bobbin thread up to the top. Normally your adjustment would be just the smallest little bit. There we go. Now you can see that it bounces a little. That's not unusual, but just under 200 like this is a good amount. That little bit of bounce doesn't alarm me. It just happens. So that tension, you can see when I lay it in my hand, will pull the bobbin up, but will not let the bobbin case pull off my hand. So that right there is a bobbin that's set well and ready to be used.